Great day to you. I'm Sean Knight, joining me in studio, as he does every hump day, 10 minutes till 8 o'clock, or whenever his lazy butt gets here.
Hey.
Mike Bear from Bear Insurance Agency. Good morning.
Lazy butt gets here. Come on now.
Get up a little earlier when you know it's interview day, man.
You know what's funny is I
get
realized
me a coffee.
This
maybe
morning
a
I actually got
breakfast.
up a little later than usual, and I suffered a little insomnia last night. So
Really?
yeah, I don't know why. Just once in a, you know how it goes. Once in a blue moon, your brain
put it
just
down.
can't shut off.
Yep.
And about the fourth time, my wife goes, "Are you okay?"
It's
And
usually,
it wasn't that nice. Are you okay? It's like it was basically the insinuation
Shut
of,
up!
"Will you stop shifting before I murder you?" And then I'm like, I think I'm just gonna go downstairs for a minute and settle down. So.
For me, it's when I watch the Kardashians, and then I lay in bed going, how is it these people made millions being famous for being stupid? If you could be famous for being stupid, I should be a celebrity in some huge sense. But
Well, if it makes if it's any condolence or a consolation rather, you're famous in my mind.
well, thank you very much.
Extremely famous. The most famous
$5.
person I know.
$5 for an autograph and a selfie. So I wanted to talk to you about a couple of different things. I have had a lot of senior moments, and not me being the senior, with people who are elderly driving.
Okay.
You will continue to cover elderly people as long as they have a license. Is that the law? Is that how that works?
Well, you can't discriminate.
Well, I understand you can't discriminate, but there's a certain point where the government needs to step in and say, you know what, you're 97, you have glaucoma, and you can't see above your steering wheel. You probably should, put up that license.
Yeah. And that's a conversation, of course, that really takes place, with a doctor. A doctor really should
Is
be.
that kind of how it works? I mean,
From what I don't know if it's a standard, but it seems to be the common practice is that a doctor will go, look, if you're still driving,
I recommend not.
it's time to stop.
Buy a unicycle.
Right. So what you bring up by a unicycle, because their balance is impeccable at
Yes,
that point.
of course.
The thing that you bring up is actually kind of going into what I was thinking of talking about today, something we discussed briefly last week. So let's talk about those elderly folks who are driving. I tell people that your prime time... You okay?
No.
Very famous over there. The prime time of driving is between the ages of 25 and early 70s, depending on the company. That is, if you have no infractions, no accidents, you're looking at the best rates you'll ever get in insurance will be really within those years. So when you're younger, you pay more. When you're older, you pay more. And the reason being is, of course, the risk becomes elevated at that time. So as we start looking at the folks who are older, companies do have a certain way of looking at them. So if you're with an existing carrier, can I get some water?
Sorry about that.
My gosh.
Just give me your coffee.
No, that's good stuff. I'm not giving it to you. You don't know where I. Never mind. But if the elderly person is driving fine and has no infractions, the insurance company is not going to do a thing. Now, year to year, the rate will adjust based on the rating that they're in because of their age.
Now, you
Some
talk about
companies
yearly
go up every
adjustment
year.
rates. Is that something that happens every year like clockwork, a yearly upgrade in adjustment? Because, for example, I know quite a few people, including myself, who haven't got any adjustment in pay, but yet my rent has gone up, my insurance has gone up. Is there
insurance-
laws that
No.
pass through? It's just the insurance company
the
says
insurance
it's
companies.
that time of year that we have to look at everything, and in order to not to go into being in the red.
Yeah, I mean, it's when they look at their rates and they look at their profitability, they look at their claims, they look at their loss ratio, which is a really predominant factor in that decision-making process, and they try to through all these numbers and taking this time, they try to go through and figure out where they're losing and how they can recoup that.
Are your companies all publicly traded? Are they Wall Street companies?
No. We have member-owned companies such as Cooperative or Mutuals like Concord Group. So they're not publicly traded, so they're not out there making money for those who invest.
Yeah, they're not trying to wring people
Right.
dry.
There is a level of profitability that they're certainly trying to make.
Of course, business is business.
Right. But, so that's what it comes to. And what parlays into what I was thinking of talking about is we're now 4 minutes in. I want to get on this real quickly. Is that if you're...
Jump on it, baby. Let's do it.
If you're in what we consider the older age, I don't want to call elderly. I don't want to say that because I don't like that term necessarily. But
And nowadays, seniors are not even, we used to think, well, you got to 55 you could retire. Not the case. You get to 65 now, you can't really retire at 65 either.
Right.
But 65 is
So when you're
official.
105 and still have to work, you still need to drive.
You're
there.
a Walmart greeter. Welcome. Would you like a sticker? Here's a sticker for you, young man. I have glaucoma in both eyes, and I just drove to my job at Walmart.
But as you're starting, if you've been with a company for many years and you see you're getting older, you're seeing a little bit of a rate increase possibly. And by the way, if your car depreciates in value, so maybe that rate increase based on your age doesn't even show with some companies because the value of your car is being lowered for the rating process.
Interesting you say that. Same concept. They had raised the rate for my wife's insurance and gave her a raise. And it just so happens that the raise barely covers the insurance upgrade. So
that's what happens.
That's how they do that.
If you're out there looking for new insurance and you're in your 80s, I'm going to tell you it's going to be a difficult process because companies aren't necessarily seeking you. They're not necessarily having an open window saying, "Please come to us."
Desperately seeking seniors.
Yeah, so that's where it becomes a challenge, and the same can be said for many other scenarios that we didn't get onto today. I think we'll talk about it next week. But if you are going to look for new insurance, think about it this way: my wife. And I need you to not cough because you need to hear this. My wife
I'm listening. I'm trying.
knows all my idiosyncrasies. She knows everything about me.
She knows you're an idiot.
If I was,
Got
yes,
that.
exactly.
Got that.
So if I'm going to look for a new woman and she knows this off the top, guess what? She's not coming. Well, my wife has realized that this is who I am, and she's good with it, and I love it. Thank God. But she's not necessarily looking to. A woman's not necessarily looking for the craziness that encompasses me. All right. So there's certain variables. I guess my point is there's certain things about you that your existing company may not have a problem with that could become an issue when you're looking for new insurance. We'll hit the details next week.
All of a sudden, I thought you were like, okay, I'm going to dump my wife, and
No.
I'm actively seeking a cougar.
No, the best thing that I ever
Senior
did.
Who's still sexy at 79, must know something about insurance.
No, believe me. Even though I've yet to think of a Valentine's gift for my wife, there is nothing there. That's wrong. That's the best thing I ever did.
After tomorrow afternoon, Puxatawny Phil's out of a job, so maybe a nice groundhog, throw rug or wrap around her neck there. So we will talk more about that next week,
Yeah.
and
Boy, I was
hopefully
really not with it today. I'm sorry.
my voice will come back to you.
It was your coughing. It was over. It was distracting me
I'm
the
sorry,
entire
man.
time.
I've got
all
that.
my clear and coherent thoughts went out the window.
Now you know what it's like to be me. All right, Mike Barrett, Barrett Insurance Agency. You can catch him at
748-5224, online, thebarrettagency.com, Google+, YouTube, and Facebook, Barrett Insurance Agency.
da-da-da-da.
See ya.
That's the end of Good Policies.